Welcome back. Campaigners are backing a review into the current blood donor selection guidelines in Scotland. Men are currently excluded from giving blood if they have had sex with another man in the last 12 months. The Advisory Committee on the Safety of Blood, Tissues and Organs is being urged to reconsider this 12-month exclusion. The Scottish National Blood Transfusion Service say making sure blood is as safe as possible is paramount. On World Blood Donor Day, Marelle Wilson has this special report.
For Liam Beattie, blood donation is a cause which is close to his heart. But due to current restrictions on men who have sex with men, he's unable to become a donor in Scotland.
If a family member was in desperate need of a blood donation and I wasn't able to help them, it would be absolutely devastating. It does make me feel angry, yeah, and I think the problem with it is that it perhaps reinforces really traditional stereotypes when it comes to men who have sex with men that are, perhaps more promiscuous and don't take precautions, but I don't think that's the case.
The current guidelines on blood donor selection state that you must not give blood for at least 12 months if you have had sex with a partner who has a blood-borne virus, if you're a man who's had sex with another man, or if you're a woman who's had sex with a man who's ever had sex with another man.
There's a lot of misconception particularly around the rules in relation to men who've had sex with men. Is one, that it's discriminatory. When it's not, it's about managing the risk and keeping the blood supply safe. The second is that there is no difference in the risk between men who've had sex with men and the general population, and yet there's very strong evidence that there is still a higher likelihood of a man who've had sex with man being HIV positive in Scotland.
The blood donor selection guidelines are currently under review by the Advisory Committee on the Safety of Blood, Tissues and Organs, with an outcome expected next year. Campaigners like Ethan Spivey aren't satisfied with the status quo. He's launched the group Freedom to Donate and backs the review.
For me, it's basically just making sure that people who are able to, currently can't because of the restrictions, have the opportunity to do so. And that's what we need to really bring to the fore and make sure that the government realises that the medical evidence and scientific advancements since the last review mean that there are thousands of people out there who can donate and actually who want to do something incredible.
Rates of HIV exposure in Scotland are falling. In 2015, there were 137 reported cases of men who have had sex with men being diagnosed. And while numbers have fallen consistently for 13 years, experts say the science behind detecting the virus is still not exact.
If they donate immediately after they have become infected, in the very early stages of that, our tests may not be able to detect them. And some of those tests, it depends on which virus we're talking about, that window period can be less than 2 weeks.
They're right to err on the side of caution, and nobody wants the blood supply to be contaminated in any way, shape or form. We need a safe blood supply, but the problem at the minute is that it just writes off so many people, not based on science, but based on an outdated view of the world.
The devastating scenes across in Orlando, we know there's a blood shortage, and we know there's loved ones across there who are unable, because of the rules that are quite similar to the ones here in the UK, because they're unable to donate their blood, they're unable to help their loved ones in an absolute time of crisis.
If it were to change and I were to be able to donate blood, I just think that would be an incredible day and one which everyone, not just me, but the person who receives blood is going to benefit from.
Well, campaigners hope change will come about sooner rather than later. It could be some time before we see fewer restrictions on blood donation in Scotland. In the meantime, the message from the Transfusion Service is clear. Making sure that blood is safe is their paramount concern. Marelle Wilson, STV News.